Hey everyone, y'all come on in. Today, we're diving into a space that's so important for setting the tone of your whole home. The entryway. It's the first impression, that warm hug as you step through the door. We're going to unlock the secrets to transforming your entryway into a showstopper, no matter its size. I'm talking about creating a space that's both functional and beautiful, a spot that welcomes you home and wows your guests. Get ready to roll up your sleeves and add a touch of that farmhouse charm we all love. When it comes to choosing paint for an entryway, don't be afraid to be bold. I love using rich, saturated colors to create a sense of drama and sophistication. Think deep navy, hunter green, or even a beautiful emerald. These colors instantly elevate the space and make it feel so welcoming. If you're worried about going too dark, try painting just the lower half of the wall and leaving the top portion a crisp white. This creates a timeless look that's both stylish and inviting. And don't forget to add pops of contrasting color with your accessories. Think about a beautiful vintage rug with pops of red or yellow against that deep navy wall, or maybe a collection of brass picture frames to warm up the space. It's all about those little details that make your entryway feel personal and unique. Every entryway needs a statement piece, and for me, that's always a console table. It's the perfect spot to drop your keys, mail, and maybe even a bouquet of fresh flowers. When choosing a console table, I always gravitate towards natural materials like wood or metal. A rustic wooden console table with a distressed finish can add so much warmth and character to your entryway. Or if you prefer a more modern farmhouse look, consider a sleek metal console with clean lines. The key is to find a piece that complements the style of your home and provides ample surface space without overwhelming the entryway. Don't be afraid to get creative with your console table styling. Layer on stacks of books, vintage finds, and maybe even a tray to corral your everyday essentials. And of course, no console table is complete without a beautiful table lamp to cast a warm glow. Now let's talk about mirrors. Mirrors are an essential element in interior design, especially for small spaces. Mirrors are like magic for small spaces. They have the unique ability to reflect light and create the illusion of a larger area. They reflect light and make the entryway feel larger and more open. This is particularly useful in compact or dimly lit entryways. When choosing a mirror for your entryway, I always say go big or go home. A larger mirror not only enhances the space but also adds a touch of elegance. A large statement mirror can instantly transform the space, making it feel grander and more inviting. It becomes a focal point that draws the eye. Look for mirrors with interesting frames, whether it's a vintage find with ornate details or a modern piece with a sleek metal finish. The frame can add character and style. The frame should complement the style of your console table and add another layer of visual interest to the entryway. This creates a cohesive and stylish look. Don't be afraid to play with shapes and sizes. Different shapes can add a unique flair to your space. A round mirror can soften the lines of a rectangular console table, while a rectangular mirror can add height and drama. Experiment to see what works best for your space. And here's a little designer tip. Hang your mirror across from a window or a light source. This placement maximizes the light reflection. This will help bounce light around the room and make your entryway feel brighter and more welcoming. It's a simple trick that can make a big difference. Lighting is everything. It sets the mood and creates a warm and inviting atmosphere. And in an entryway, it's especially important to make a statement. A stunning chandelier or pendant light can instantly elevate the space and make it feel so grand. Now, when I say chandelier, I don't necessarily mean something big and over the top. There are so many beautiful and affordable options out there that can add a touch of elegance without overwhelming the space. Look for chandeliers or pendants with interesting textures and materials. A wrought iron chandelier can add a touch of rustic charm, while a glass pendant with brass accents can create a more modern farmhouse feel. Remember, the right lighting can transform your entryway from a drab and dreary space into a warm and inviting welcome center for your home. You know I'm all about bringing the outdoors in. It's one of the easiest ways to make your home feel more vibrant and alive. And what better way to do that than with a tall potted plant or a vase of fresh flowers? These elements can transform any space into a welcoming haven. Greenery instantly breathes life into any space, and it's especially welcoming in an entryway. It sets the tone for the rest of your home. A tall potted plant like a fiddle leaf fig or a snake plant can add height and drama to the corner of your entryway. These plants are not only beautiful, but also make a bold statement. And don't worry if you don't have a green thumb. There are plenty of options for everyone. There are so many low-maintenance plants out there that can thrive in even the dimmest of spaces. Think of plants like the ZZ plant or the snake plant, which require minimal care. If you prefer something a little more colorful, a vase of fresh flowers is always a beautiful touch. Flowers can bring a burst of color and joy to your entryway. I love using seasonal blooms to add a pop of color and fragrance to the entryway. It keeps the space feeling fresh and in tune with the seasons. Think sunflowers in the summer, hydrangeas in the spring, and branches of evergreen in the winter. Each season offers its own unique beauty. And here's a little tip. Use a vintage crock or a galvanized metal bucket as a planter or vase. These items add character and charm to your decor. It's a great way to add a touch of farmhouse charm and repurpose something you might already have around the house. Plus, it's an eco-friendly option that adds a personal touch to your home. Now let's talk about adding some personality to your entryway. And what better way to do that than with unique art pieces? Art is such a powerful way to express yourself and make your home feel more personal. Don't be afraid to think outside the box when it comes to art in your entryway. It doesn't have to be a traditional painting or print. You could hang a vintage quilt, a collection of botanical prints, or even a framed map of your favorite city. The key is to choose pieces that speak to you and tell your story. Think about your passions, your travels, and the things that make you happy. Let those things inspire your art choices. Remember, your entryway is a reflection of you and your family, so let your personality shine through with your art choices. Let's face it, entryways can be a magnet for clutter. It's the first place we step into when we get home, and often the last place we see when we leave. Naturally, it becomes a dumping ground for all sorts of items. Shoes, bags, keys, mail, it all seems to end up piled up in this one little space. It can be overwhelming to see such a mess right at the entrance of your home. But it doesn't have to be that way. With a few simple changes, you can transform your entryway into a welcoming and organized space. With a little bit of planning and some clever storage solutions, you can keep your entryway organized and clutter-free. It's all about finding the right system that works for you. One of my favorite storage solutions for entryways is a vintage locker basket or a wooden crate for each member of the family. These not only look stylish, but are incredibly functional. This gives everyone a designated spot for their shoes and bags, and it keeps things looking tidy. No more tripping over random items as you walk in the door. You can also add a few hooks to the wall for coats and scarves. This keeps them off the floor and easily accessible. And don't forget about a small tray or bowl for keys and loose change. It's a simple addition that can make a big difference in keeping things organized. If you have a little more space, consider adding a small storage bench or a console table with drawers. These pieces can provide extra storage and a place to sit while putting on shoes. Remember, a clutter-free entryway is a happy entryway. It sets the tone for the rest of your home. So take some time to get organized and create a system that works for you and your family. You'll be amazed at how much more welcoming your home feels. Now let's talk about rugs. A rug is like the finishing touch to any room, and it's especially important in an entryway. A well-chosen rug can define the space, add warmth and texture, and create a welcoming atmosphere. When choosing a rug for your entryway, I always recommend going for something durable and easy to clean. This is a high-traffic area, so you want a rug that can stand up to the wear and tear. Natural fiber rugs like jute or sisal are great options for entryways. They're durable, easy to clean, and they add a touch of natural beauty to the space. Remember, the right rug can make your entryway feel like an extension of your home, a warm and inviting space that welcomes you and your guests. Now this next tip is for those of you who have a little extra space in your entryway. Consider adding a stylish bench or chair. Not only does this provide a functional spot to put on your shoes, but it also creates a welcoming and inviting atmosphere. I love using vintage benches or chairs in entryways. They add so much character and charm to the space. Look for pieces with interesting details like carved wood or wrought iron accents. If you prefer a more modern look, consider a sleek metal bench or a chair with clean lines. And don't be afraid to add a pop of color with a brightly patterned cushion or throw pillow. Remember, even if you have a small entryway, you can still create a functional and stylish space with a little bit of creativity. You know, for me, it's the personal touches that truly make a house a home. And that's especially true for entryways. This is your chance to create a space that reflects your family's story and welcomes you home with open arms. One of my favorite ways to add a personal touch to an entryway is with family photos. Create a gallery wall with framed photos of your loved ones, or display a few favorite snapshots on a vintage console table. Every time you walk through the door, you'll be greeted by the smiling faces of the people you love most. You can also add personal touches with vintage finds, travel souvenirs, or family heirlooms. Remember, there's no right or wrong way to add personal touches to your entryway. Just follow your heart and choose items that have meaning to you and your family. Well y'all, I hope you feel inspired to tackle your own entryway transformations. Remember, it doesn't have to be a huge undertaking. Even the smallest changes can make a world of difference. Focus on creating a space that reflects your personal style and welcomes you home with open arms.